What's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. First episode of many episodes, man, chronicling the day in the life of a certified financial planner, interactions I have with my clients, and every single day after talking to clients, I'm gonna give you guys tips. The crazy part is they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm not that old. I mean, I am 40, but I've been practicing for 15 years. The crazy thing about my practice, though, is that I have a lot of clients that are business owners, clients that are in administrative positions. So I get a lot of knowledge myself from talking to clients on a single day, going over what they got going on, their businesses, kind of their ideas from an investment standpoint. So it's cool. So not only do I get to give advice off of situations and conversations I have with clients, but also I'm able to give advice and give situations from clients that actually help me. Hopefully it can help you in business. So we're going to talk about investing, the do's and don'ts of investing from a business standpoint, from a financial standpoint, when to get a loan, when not to get a loan. Is credit good? Is it such thing as good debt or bad debt? Of course, I have a Dave Ramsey background as a certified financial planner, as well as a Dave Ramsey endorsed financial advisor here in Jacksonville. All debt is not good debt. We'll kind of have that conversation and have real world conversation with actual people. It's one thing if we look on the internet or look on YouTube or social media and people kind of spill out things where we're actually kind of giving you real world information from real world clients, from real world situations that'll help. So my background about myself, I'm a certified financial planner based here in Jacksonville, Florida. The name of my firm is called Thomas Financial. It's an acronym. So the T is for tithe, the O is for offering, the A is for alms, the M is for means, and the S is for stewardship. So tithe, offering, alms means stewardship. So if I invest your money properly, prayerfully, you'll be able to tithe more, you'll be able to offer more, you'll be able to do more alms, which is giving glory to God with your gifts. And I think my gifts is finances, means stewardship. So if I'm being a good steward of your money, then hopefully you're rocking and rolling and doing a great job from an investment standpoint. Have a staff. It's not just me. I have a few other financial advisors I've been blessed to be in a practice with me as we bounce ideas off of each other. We have support staff as well. We even have an assistant. So just definitely blessed. My personal background, I have a wife, been married for 15 years. We met at my alma mater, Tennessee State University. We have a daughter. Love my university, Tennessee State. Not only am I alma mater of HBCU, so definitely support your HBCUs. I'm actually on the foundation board. So with the Tennessee State Foundation Board, we help manage the endowment, we help fundraise, and we help make our great university, Tennessee State, shine and get bigger. Also, I'm part owner of a tech company called Let Bob. We actually have our own fund on the stock market, our own ETF. That symbol is LETB. From a momentum standpoint, we're in the market when we think the market has a higher probability of going up, and we're out the market when we think the market's going down. Last year, of course, the market was down. We know the Russell and NASDAQ was down almost 30%, S&P down by 20%. Our fund was down, but our fund was down 9%. You had 100 grand, you lost 9,000 with us, not fun. But in the NASDAQ and the Russell, which is our benchmark, you actually lost 30,000. So half empty, half full, I don't know. But a person rather be down, not at all, but if they had their choice, they'd rather be down 9,000 and 30,000. So that's our fund. And not only do we have our own fund, but we also, which is pretty cool as well, have our own investment platform, Let Bob. You can definitely download it in the App Store. You can download it in the Google Play Store, Let, L-E-T-B-O-B. And that allows a person to get information from a financial literacy standpoint, but also invest. And the great thing from there is that you can let Bob pick the different stocks. You can pick different stocks, or you can let Bob assist. So if you pick a stock, but you don't know if it's the best time to buy that stock, then you can let Bob buy it when we feel it's a better opportunity. So the thought process is the stock is at $100. You want to buy it today. We say, well, just wait. It's a higher probability of that stock going down. And now we buy that stock for you at $90. So that's a 10% loss shouldn't occur. So as that investment goes from $90 back to 100, you've made money compared to having that investment and kind of making your money back. Of course, there's no cost to do any buys and sales. So definitely download that. I have a stormwater company called FloodCon, where if it's a storm brewing, we basically move stormwater from one place to another underground to reduce flooding. That helps developers as they develop land. Their retention ponds don't have to be as large because we're moving water. And then also from an environmental standpoint, we know so many homes in urban areas and now in large residential areas are flooded. Here in Florida, it's flooding all the time, which is not fun. So we're trying to find a way to reduce flooding. If we reduce flooding, it reduces property damage, and make sure our homeowners insurance doesn't go sky high, and make sure the insurance companies don't hit us with homeowners insurance and flood insurance. Was like, well, I got homeowners insurance. Why would I have flood insurance? I don't understand that. But that's how insurance companies work. So if we're able to reduce flooding here in the South and across the country, perfectly, that helps individuals, helps our value of our properties, of course, and also helps developers from a profit margin standpoint. But that's me in a nutshell. So a client called today and they said, hey, Mario, we know the market's down. The market's down from a tech standpoint. They were looking at Amazon. They were looking at Apple. As we talk in early January, Amazon is down almost 50% from its high. Apple is down over 20%. Microsoft is down. Square, which some people thought was the next big thing, is down over 60%. So they wanted to get into some tech. They had equity in their house. So his thought process was, hey, let me take some equity out my house and then let me use that not to invest in real estate because of the pending recession. This time next year, home prices might be lower than what they are now. So that was pretty smart. So again, a client kind of seen the future, but hey, I do want to invest in things like Amazon, like Apple, so that I can buy these at a 50% discount. So the thought process is, if a stock is at $100 and now it goes down to $50, if I buy it at 50 and it goes back up to 100, I doubled my money. So great thinking. Even if it takes Amazon, for instance, or Apple, even though Apple's not down by 50%, but Square, for instance, that's down by more than 50%. Even if it takes 2 years, let's say, to get back, that means you double your money in 2 years. That's a 50% gain in 2 years. Great thought. He didn't think that real estate over the next 2 years would double, meaning he would buy a piece of property today and then 2 years later, then that would go up and double. Great investment, right? I'm able to use equity I have. However, number one, when we have no mortgage, we have no mortgage. Now, of course, the other flip of the coin is that debt is always good. You want to use other people's money to finance your life. Totally understand that and not against that at all. But in this situation, if a person has no mortgage, recommending him not doing that because a few things happen. He is now going from no mortgage to now having a mortgage on his house. So if anything happens, heaven forbid, now the bank's gonna get paid. Right? So by him not having a mortgage, just from a financial standpoint, he doesn't have that burden on his back. Number two, I never recommend you not having a bill and then taking on a bill to invest. Now, yes, we all believe in the future that Amazon will go back up, that Apple will go back up, that Square will go back up. Now, will it be 1 year? Will it be 2 years? It might be 5 years. I don't think it's going to be 5 years, but it might be 5 years. So the thought process is we think it's going to go up. But from an investment standpoint, there's no guarantee. Even you have a great financial advisor like myself who has their own ETF, let be on the stock market, but still, you never know. So taking money out of your house and putting a loan against it and then having to pay back that loan, what if your investments don't perform? So we lost money, which means now we have to come out of our pockets even more to pay back that money that we did not have to lose in the first place. Also, from a tax standpoint, depending on your tax situation, depending on what you have coming into your pocket, what you have out of your pocket, if the home equity loan is against your primary residence or a rental residence or a second residence, you might not get the same tax treatment you would from a primary mortgage. A primary mortgage on our primary residence, we get to write that off on our taxes. If we have a $100,000 loan, it's at 5%, that's $5,000 a year, but we get to write that off towards our taxes. Well, for some home equity loans, depending on if it's tied to our primary or secondary or rental, we might not be able to write off some or even nothing at all. So now we don't get the same tax advantage as if it was a primary mortgage. Doing the home equity loan, you're not getting the tax treatment that's favorable compared to you having it with your primary house. And number three, the biggest thing is that what if something happens? If a person is single, for instance, very, very, very easy process to have with no mortgage, the deed to somebody else. It's referred to Ladybird deed, or if you have a trust, which for this person, I recommended that he receive a trust. With those types of assets, you can just pass it on over. Well, it gets kind of sticky if we have a mortgage because the mortgage is not in the beneficiary's name. So then they have to go through the process of paying off that mortgage, paying down the mortgage, going through legal documents to make sure that they continue to pay down the mortgage before they have any say-so on when to sell the house. Some banking institutions don't allow you to make any decisions like selling the house until it's paid off. So it could get into some sticky situations with him having a second mortgage on a house, and we don't want that. Now, from an investment standpoint, very, very easy. Every single account that you have would recommend that we have a beneficiary. If it's a retirement account or just a regular investment account that's in your name, you wouldn't have a beneficiary. Great thing about a beneficiary, it supersedes what a will says, right? So you might have one thing in a will, but then your beneficiary designation supersedes that. So let's say you have family bickering, and let's say we have two siblings. On the will, you say, I'm going to give it to this sister because I don't have any children. But then on your beneficiary designation, you say, I'm going to give it to this sister. Well, that beneficiary designation supersedes what that will says. So sister number 2 is going to receive the money, not sister number 1. Now, of course, if you have a trust, that's the end all be all because a trust is a legal document that supersedes. But to make sure things don't get sticky with having a mortgage on the house, having to go through that process before I get the house, another reason why, even if it's a right fit from an investment standpoint, buying something that's 50% low like Amazon, great investment over time, I believe. But in that situation with the funds that he has, pulling that out the house to invest, recommended against it. Comment below. Please let me know. Good advice, bad advice. My link is in the bio. Website's in the bio. My military background says keep it simple, stupid. So with these tutorials and this information and content that I give you, I'm keeping it simple, stupid. But with that being said, have a blessed day. Let's make some painful profits together, y'all. Peace.
And you just wanna get paid. Tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, Payneful Profits to help you seek change.